Some of those conditions I've seen have been so shocking, I've had to remind myself that I was still standing in the United States of America. These systemic challenges have harmed vulnerable communities for decades, robbing them of the opportunity to lead healthy, fulfilling lives.
EPA Administrator Michael Regan describing legacy pollution plaguing neighborhoods like Houston's Fifth Ward, where cancer-causing creosote from a Union Pacific-owned treatment plant still contaminates the area. Regan's statements accompanied the rollout of the Justice Department's Office of Environmental Justice, aimed at cracking down on polluters whose negligence has done generational human damage. Panel, we are told the contamination of Fifth Ward will be among the first 3 cases taken up by the OEJ. Tamara Bell, what do you think of this?
This has been going on for decades. Kathy Buford Daniels told me about this. I think it was back in '04, how they had been battling this and how bad it was and how many of her friends, neighbors. She told me to come over there, took me on the street, pointed to the abandoned houses. They died of cancer. Their daughter had cancer. This person had lung cancer. This person had liver cancer. This person, just pointing out all these people, just all that were near the railroad. And then the other ones were even further away. And it was like it just creeped over for decades. So I'm so glad to see that somebody is finally looking at this from a legitimate point, that this is wrong to do this. And it definitely happened in underserved communities because that's where they were allowed the trains not to just go through, but to pause and stop. And you know, trains carry all kind of contaminants. So if they were unloading and stuff, it went into this area. Even right now in that neighborhood, they have a cement factory that is putting down their cement down the sewer lines. That leftover stuff, they're scraping it and putting it down the drain system. They are constantly fighting environmental injustices. The creosote, the cement, and I-45 is just another thing they're worried about.
All right, Gary Polland, is this the kind of focused regulation and legal crackdown that's needed?
Well, it sure sounds like it, because it appears that if Union Pacific isn't forced to do the right thing, they're not going to do the right thing. So this is absolutely the job of the federal government and the state environmental regulators, and they need to get cranking. This is outrageous that this is still going on.
Marcus Davis, do you ever hear anything about this? The thousands of people who come through the restaurant, the thousands of people you talk to?
Hear about it from them. I'm from Fifth Ward, Texas. I've heard about it for years. I've heard about it for decades. But here's why it didn't qualify. One, because it's a low income, impoverished area full of minorities. Here's another reason why it didn't qualify: because the children that were growing up in that area, they were breathing, they were living. Nobody gave a damn.
Wow, Chow, what do you think of this? Good news.
It's a symptom of the voiceless. Those in those communities, in marginalized communities, once again, don't have the voice they deserve and the advocacy. So finally, the federal government has to step in and offer some recourse for these families because, you know, as Tamara was saying, family member after family member dying because of cancer with no real recourse or outcome or no real support. That's outrageous. It is really time that we step up and help these marginalized communities and raise our voices.